Somebody writes a book, they query a whole bunch of agents, they get a whole bunch of rejection letters, and then they decide, well, if I can't get an agent, I'm just going to go ahead and self-publish. And that's really the wrong approach, because there's a reason all of these people turned you down on that book. So you're better off trying to figure out what that reason is. I always encourage people to reach out to those agents. If they don't tell you why they turned it down, see if you can get that information out of them, and then use that information to correct whatever the problem is. Because if you don't do that, if you just publish the book on Amazon and do it all yourself, that book will come out, your friends and family will give it those 5-star reviews, because that's what they're kind of obligated to do. And then, actual real readers will find that book, and they're going to start giving it these 2-star reviews, 1-star, 3-star, because those flaws are still there. So I always encourage people to get whatever feedback they possibly can. And it's difficult in this industry because, as an author, it's a very, it's a solo venture. You're behind a desk all by yourself, sometimes for years at a time, writing that first novel with nobody else weighing in on it. I think the experience I had was very unique because I always had other people that were part of the process, part of the collaboration. So if I overstepped, if I went off in the weeds on a particular storyline, somebody else was there to raise their hand and tell me, hey, this isn't working. And I heard that enough times where, now I catch myself, as I'm writing. But if you don't have that voice, if you don't have somebody that's helping you, shape that story, you're going to make mistakes. And then, maybe you publish a second novel and a third novel, and you're indie publishing all of these, so nobody is weighing in. That means those same mistakes are happening over and over and over again. It's why a lot of indie authors, they don't grow. Their writing tends to stay the same. If you're in the traditional world, for better or worse, you've got agents, you've got editors, you've got marketing people, all these people helping you shape the story, pointing out what's not working and helping you correct it. And then eventually you weed those problems out of your writing.